Hello friends, my name is Rajesh Babbar. So today in this video, very short video of 10 to 12 minutes, I'll explain you how to use the transit of Saturn. What is the importance of Saturn in your birth chart and how you can use in transit and give wonderful predictions according to Bhrigunandi Naadi. In this, I will not take any house into consideration. I'll only take the signs into consideration and the planets into consideration and the relationship between planets, friends and enemies thing. Only two planets I'll take, Saturn and Mars. And if I get time, I'll take Ketu also. So before I begin my video, I pray to Lord Ganesha and Lord Shanidev, help us learn this divine knowledge. I have not drawn any chart today because it's a very simple technique that I am going to explain you. How transit of Saturn when it comes in a particular sign, and if there any planet and if that sign any planet is placed, how does it affects your professional life, personal life. All this I am going to discuss in all coming videos also. So today I'll take two planets. Let's say I'm not going to draw complete chart here. If Mars in your birth chart, so this is your birth Mars. You have to always remember this is the natal Mars. If your natal Mars is in Aquarius at this moment, Saturn is transiting in Aquarius from last 2.5 years. It is about to complete its cycle. Only 1 or 2 months are left. So from last 2 years, Saturn is transiting in Aquarius. So Saturn and Mars, they are bitter enemies to each other. So when you see this scenario in your birth chart, when Saturn enters Aquarius in transit, so this you have to be very careful. When Saturn enters Aquarius, even though it is his own sign, but his enemy Mars is there and waiting for Saturn to come and meet him. This will give problems in your professional life. Some third person will start automatically, they will start troubling you. Why? Because Mars is the enemy of Saturn, which is placed in Saturn's sign. So when Saturn comes in transit, he meets Mars and your professional life is disturbed. Lot of impediments, lot of problems, lot of hardships, or more workload is dumped upon you because of Saturn and Mars combination. So next step is Saturn stays in one sign for 2.5 years. So Saturn in Aquarius is going to stay for 2.5 years. So a lot of people will think if Saturn comes in Aries, my Mars is placed there, but till 2.5 years I did not face so much of problem. Yes, now the rule comes into picture. Let's say in your birth chart, if Mars is at 15 degrees, so when Saturn comes in Aquarius, it takes around 30 months to cross one sign, because one sign is of 30 degrees. Saturn moves 1 degree per month. Forget about the retrogression period or forget about the Stambhi and all those things. Just simply assume Saturn takes 30 months, 2.5 years to cross one sign. So all 2.5 years are not going to be bad. Why? Because in the birth chart, Mars is placed at 15 degrees. So when Saturn enters Aquarius, the first 15 months, because when Saturn enters here, he is going to move towards Mars, and until and unless he crosses this 15 degrees, When he crosses this 15 degrees Saturn, then the problem will start going down, or there will be relief in your professional life. So this you always have to remember when you take charts into consideration. Don't straight away predict, oh, your Saturn has come to Aquarius, Mars is there, you will have lot of problems. No, you have to be very careful while giving these predictions, because degrees are very important here. So whatever degrees Mars has, you can calculate accordingly. The technique I have shared with you, I'll repeat once again. One sign 30 degrees, Saturn takes 30 months to cross 30 degrees. So 1 month, 1 degree. Simple formula. If Mars is at 10 degrees, so 10 months the person will face problem. If Mars is at, let's say, 20 degrees, then you can calculate accordingly. In those particular months, the native will have problem. This is the one rule of how to use Saturn's transit. Now, second rule. Lot of people will have Mars in Aquarius, but still, even if Saturn comes in Aquarius, whatever the degrees Mars has, irrespective of that degrees, there is no problem in their professional life. Lot of people, when they will watch this video, they are going to comment me and say, no, this is a wrong technique. No, it is not wrong technique. There are some other combinations you need to follow. People who have Mars in Aquarius, they will not have any problem. Why? There are two rules behind this. First rule, if this combination is aspected by Jupiter, which Jupiter? The birth Jupiter. If opposite to Mars, there is Jupiter in the birth chart, or in the 5th house, or in the 9th house, both trines and opposite, and even if Jupiter is placed with Mars in the birth chart, then the transit of Saturn will not give so much of problem, because the intensity of Mars is controlled by Jupiter. So when Saturn comes here, Jupiter is the friend of Saturn. There won't be any problem, because two friends together, Mars is alone here. So they are going to defeat Mars. So this is the first rule. You have to be very careful while analyzing the chart. Second rule, if birth Jupiter is not aspecting or not placed with this Mars, and Saturn comes in Aquarius, Mars is placed in your Aquarius, but in transit Jupiter aspects this combination, that particular time or that particular year or that particular 6 to 7 months, because in that also we have to take degrees of Jupiter, because at certain degrees Jupiter will aspect the certain part of that house. So forget about the degrees, that I'll explain in my coming videos. In transit, when Jupiter will aspect this combination between 2.5 years, because Saturn is going to stay here, till that period there will be no problem, especially if Mars, let's say, is at 10 degrees. So first 10 months, if Jupiter also comes opposite to Mars Saturn combination, in trine to Mars Saturn combination, or with Mars Saturn in transit, then there will be no problem, or the intensity of the problem will definitely go down. So this you have to calculate, because these are the three important rules you have to follow. So these are the three important rules when you see a chart, how to use transit of Saturn. So people who have Mars in Aquarius, they have to be very careful, because this Saturn can give you other problems also, not only professional problem. It can give you cuts and wounds in your body slightly or somewhere down the line. These are like accidental combinations also in the birth chart. So regular remedies has to be done for Mars, because Mars is creating problem here. I'll end my session here. Hope everybody is fine and well. Thank you very much.